You! Yes! Alrighty, what's up, everybody? It is I, your travel god of extreme, Peter Joseph here, for a Wednesday afternoon, getting close to Wednesday evening and Wednesday night, and it's Wednesday night. You know what that means? We got 3 hours, good God! Oh, God! 3 hours of AEW Dynamite! Coming up, well, we got Collision at 10, which nobody cares about. But yeah, 3 hours of AEW tonight. Ugh. Get the NyQuil and Red Bull ready, because, you know, we'll be probably falling asleep through half the fucking show. But, but that's pretty much it. So, should be a pretty decent show. Kenny is going to team up with Jurassic Express to take on the Don Callis family. Nobody cares about that. Claudio's going to be taking on Buddy! I think that's on Collision. Got a few other matches on the card. And it's the go-home show before this Saturday night's Wrestle Dream. Will probably put us to sleep. But we'll see what happens with that. I think tonight we're going to have, hi guys, it's me, Darby. 3 hours of me. Are you ready? I come from Seattle. I'm going to die. Anyway. Yeah, Darby and Mox are allegedly going to have a face-to-face. After what happened at Comic-Con, I don't even think they should be in the same fucking building. Just saying. So we'll see what happens with them. And, Hangman Adam Page, and, all the other, you know, Hangman Adam Page and Samoa Joe. We'll see what happens with that. We got the Hurt Syndicate of Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin. They're going to be taking on the Gates of Agony in a tag team match. Why, I don't know. Regular style tag team match with Toa Leona and Bishop Quan! I know not Quan! And, that's, pretty much it. So that's, pretty much all I gotta say about that. And we move on with that. But it should be a good AEW show tonight, and then we'll see what happens with that. We move on. Alright, friend me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, and all that other good stuff. Like the video, leave a comment on the video. If you leave super comments, you get sent to the Shadow Realm, where Satan and Ozzy will eat your soul. And don't forget to hit that bell, turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one, because if you do miss the next one, you suck. And that's pretty much it. You're SOL, you know what that means by now. And we move on. And if you're brand new here, well, welcome to the party, pal. Grab yourself a nice, tasty, cold one. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. If you like it, great. You don't, get out and go watch somebody else. That'll bore you half to death. Not me. Because I'm not boring. You're boring. You're bullshit. Found that out last night. It was boring. 2 hours of boredom made me laugh. Bunch of lies, but I digress on that. We will move on. Alright, everybody, before we get to this week's Dynamite, let's talk about last week's Dynamite. And it is time for your late, super late, so out of motherfucking date, AEW Dynamite and Collision reviews. Right here on the Peter Joseph channel. I'm Peter Joseph. But you knew that right. Alright, this is coming from last Tuesday, because we had AEW on Tuesday thanks to the baseball playoffs, which will probably be over pretty soon the way it's going. Both the Mariners are up 2-0. Game 3 is tonight. Dodgers won last night to go up 2-0. Game 3 will be tomorrow in LA. So that should be fun, and hopefully it'll be over by the weekend. Hopefully. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. As baseball's about to hit the World Series in about a week or so. But it could be earlier if these two series end early by the weekend. Who knows? Because it's not supposed to start till the 24th. We're on the 15th right now, so could end by the 19th or 20th. So we got that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to Dynamite from last week. Title Tuesday. Very, very, very chaotic show from Daly's place, home base, basically. The homecoming show in Jacksonville, Florida. And as always, our commentary team, the man behind the mask, Excalibur, the biggest Met fan I know. He's happy that the Yankees are out. And I think he had surgery on his shoulder, but he's going to be coming back. I don't know when, but probably won't see him this week. And it's going to be Taz. Red Hook, brother. So we got Taz, Excalibur, and the great man that he is, Brian Danielson, Frankelson, commentatorson, you suck, son. Yes! Alright. And somewhere in the building, Tony Baloney Schiavone. And we got all that. Alright, so we start off, speaking of Tony Baloney Schiavone, my good buddy, he's in the ring, hypes up the crowd in Daly's place, little winky-dink shithole in Jacksonville, right next to the Jaguars Stadium. Anyway, he starts the show with bringing out the AEW World Heavyweight Champion, the Cowboy, Adam Page, about to do some cowboy shit. And his opponent, 1/3 of the AEW Trios Champions, and part of the Ops, that's Samoa Joe, for a little face-to-face chat. Alright, so they come out, no chicanery, nothing happened per Tony Khan, no violence! Right, violence my butt. But it is what it is. So the Hangman talks about various things he has done on the show over the years, 6 years by the way, from arson, blowing almost, burning down the house of Swerve Strickland, his childhood home, to dressing up as the State Puff Marshmallow Man. That was like, what, 2-3 years ago? That was just, ugh. Anyway. But he's never been as confused as he was last week when Samoa Joe just lost it. And he got all angry, because of Adam Page's success, and then he's like all pissed off, and he wants a world title shot. Adam Page gave it to him. Now Joe's gonna get that shot, and Adam's like, I'm gonna make sure that you get it because I owe you. Owe you for what? Well, that's gonna end at Wrestle Dream. Jordan says everything Adam Page has said is pretty much true. He's not lying. No cap. And no, it's time for him to say some uncomfortable truths. The reality is that Adam Page isn't a real champion because he'll give someone an opportunity of a lifetime and then face them in 10 minutes to pad his stats. Okay. But that's not gonna work with me, bro. I'm gonna choke you out, brother, and take your title at Wrestle Dream. So Adam Page's like, well, I know I'm gonna take a beating and keep on kicking at Wrestle Dream, but I'm gonna hit you twice as hard. Then I'm going to beat you once and for all, and after that, I hope you can shake my hand and admit that I am the rightful AEW World Men's Heavyweight Champion. And then that was it. Bing, bang, boom, to the point, get out of the ring. That's it. So we'll see what happens on Saturday night. I think Adam Page will win. I mean, if Joe wins, great, but he ain't gonna hold the title for that long. I don't think because when he did win it about a year or two ago from Maxwell Jacob Fart Knocker, he held it for like how long? And it held it for like what 3 months, and then Swerve beat him at what was that Dynasty, or for you people in Australia, Dynasty. Right, Paul Stanley? Whoa! Your Dynasty! Yeah, okay. Hey, calm down, Paul. How's Gene doing these days? Good. Gene Simmons got into a car accident, by the way. He's doing good. Can't keep the demon down. I can't even do his tongue. I don't have a big tongue like Gene Simmons. If I did, you think I'd be here right now? Hell no. I'd be somewhere else with the ladies. Anyway, move on. Alright, so I gave that 3.5 out of 5 stars, and we're off and running on Title Tuesday. On Taco Tuesday. We get that. Alright, we go to back, I believe it was with Alicia Achich. She still hasn't gone on her honeymoon. Get the business done, Max. Come on, use your tiny pickle. Come on. Or tiny schmeckle. Because he's Jewish. Nothing wrong with that. It is what it is. Alright, so Alicia Achich is there with a conglomeration, ready to win. Win on the show, and then on Collision, we have Kyle O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better not hear one. Let's go Kyle chance when he faces Kyle Fletcher because he can't stand anyone else with that name. And then freaking around, he's like, Kyle! When is Adam coming back? I don't know. Adam's too busy playing on his Twitch machine, you know? He was on early. He was on at a weird time. He was on at 11:30 this morning. I'm like, that's unusual for Chugs. 11:30 in the morning. What, did you have to go somewhere there, Chugs? Nothing wrong with that. Playing Expedition 33, a great game, by the way. Can we move on? Alright, so, Ishii's gonna take on Moxley, so they talk about that. And then, the funky chicken himself, Mark Briscoe, acting crazy. You know, I think Willow Nightingale was there looking pretty. And then Orange Cassidy just like, whatever. That's it. And we move on with that. Alright, so we get to Moxley and Tomohiro Ishii, not Ishii. It's Ishii. God damn it. Marina Shafir at ringside. And what do you know? Big beefy men slapping meat, basically. Back and forth they went. Marina Shafir gets a distraction, which allows Mox to knock Ishii into the barricade. Ow. Come back. Moxley still in control. And then Ishii woke up from his slumber. Hits a suplex on Mox, which comes right back with a 1922 sleeper, which gets reversed into a belly-to-back suplex. But Mox comes back, hammer away in the corner to a powerbomb, gets Ishii out of trouble, hits a running clothesline for a near fall, then they trade big-time bomb shots, and so both of them are down. We got a double down. Moxley gets up, grabs a Gilmore Cutter! Bang! For a near fall. Doesn't do it as great as me, but still. Ishii pops right back up for a powerbomb. And then Moxley pops back up for a curb stomp for a near fall. Then Ishii goes for a choke. Everybody's no-selling, basically. Ishii goes for a choke, which gets counted into a paradigm shift, into the bulldog choke, and I think Ishii just passed out. Because he has no neck, so... to get that. So Moxley gets the win in under 13 minutes. And there you go. Moving on from that. Alright, we go to the back with Renee Paquette, and she's with the Young Bucks. Matthew and Nicholas Jackson are trying to talk to Tony Khan because they need some more money. Because fucking Nick blew it at this casino in Jersey. Or wherever it was. So they're knocking on the door. Tony, let us in, you asshole! We want some cocaine too! Because, Tony Khan's in his office, snorting that cocaine because it's so good. Tony Khan's ringtone is Buck Cherry, by the way. I love the cocaine. I love the cocaine. Mama, can you wait? Okay. I'm not gonna sing the rest of that song, but... if you don't like Buck Cherry... fuck you, because you're a dumb fucking bitch. Well, what was that song they have on their album? Crazy Bitch? That's a fun song. That's a fun song to play when you break up with your girlfriend. fucking crazy, bitch! Or Crying Like a Bitch by Godsmack is another good one. It is what it is. I don't play those songs because I'm still with the missus. Ha! Eat that shit, motherfuckers. Anyway, so we got that. They're gonna be in the audience to watch Jurassic Express make their in-ring debut. Well, return, I should say. Not debut, they return. Alright, we get that. Alright, then we get a video for Chris Cakelander and Timeless Tony Storm, darling. Alright, for the AEW World Title, which could probably have a match at Wrestle Dream this Saturday night. We got that. Then we get a look at the Triangle of Madness. That's Dekla, Sky Blue, and the lovely Julia Hart laying out Chris Statlander and Tony Storm last week on Collision. So, we'll see what happens with that as we move on. Alright, then we got a 6-man street fight. We got the Demand. That's Ricochet, Toa Leona, and Bishop Quan. I still don't like Quan. I don't know Quan. Stop it. Get away from me, VV. You don't know that reference? Play Final Fantasy IX. You'll get that reference. Trust me. Anyway, so Ricochet's group, the Demand. Could have called them the Supply or some shit, you know. Yeah. They take out the Hurt Syndicate because they hurt people. We hurt people. We hurt people. Just like the prophecy does to all these trolls. To all these trolls. Yeah. Especially you people from last night. You fuckers. Bunch of fucking lies for 2 hours. Makes me sick. I digress. Anyway. Alright, street fight rules, anything goes. We have Bobby Lashley, Shelty Baby, Shelton Benjamin, and MVP, Montavious Porter. Anyway, so they start on the ramp. Toa Leona takes Bobby inside for a Samoan drop onto the chairs. Ow! And then they go outside, Ricochet and MVP come inside the grapple a little bit. Then a crutch to the back has Bishop Bud in trouble, gets inside with Shelty Baby, Shelton Benjamin, but that doesn't last long. They go back outside, where Ricochet hits a big running flippy dibbity-doo onto everybody. Converts to 7-10 split. Why not? Everybody's down. We go to break. We come back. The Demand is in control, because as always, the heels come back or are still in control during the break. Alright, get some slams on the floor. Bobby Lashley gets knocked down, and a chair, gets knocked down, gets right back up, goes for the spear, gets cut off with a chair to the head. Ow! Then the Gates of Agony send Bobby through a table, and then Bishop One's elbow puts him through a second table. Damn. And then MVP and Toa Leona crash through a barricade. We got Buck Wild! Buck Wild on that bitch! What? Buck Wild! Thank you, Jay Briscoe. Reach for the sky, boy. Anyway. Alright, that leaves Shelton Benjamin to get double spine busted for a near fall. So the Demand are really kicking Hurtsinger's ass, and they're hurting them. Ricochet hits a shooting star press on Shelton to the table. It was on the table, which didn't break. I am the table! So Toa Leona and MVP crash onto Shelton to really break the table. Oh, that's inventive. Okay, we'll do that. But somehow, Shelty Baby gets right back up to strike away and backdrop Ricochet out to the floor. Ow. But Ricochet gets back in, takes a knee from Shelton Benjamin to save Toa Leona as Bobby Lashley gets back up. Then a spear drops Ricochet. And then one to Toa Leona, followed by a spine buster. Put Bishop Quan through a table on the outside. Back inside, Shelton Benjamin gives Ricochet one hell of a German suplex through the table. It was perfect. And he goes for the cover. 1, 2, 3, the Hurt Syndicate. They hurt people. They hurt people. Yeah. They get the win in a little over 16 and a half minutes. Match was great. 3.5 out of 5 stars. And that's it. We move on. Alright, then we got the Don Callis family. Oh, by the way, happy birthday, Don, you bald bastard. I said happy birthday to him on fucking Twitter. Then nothing. Hey, I said happy birthday to Kyrie. She liked and retweeted it. That's my wife. That's my second amazingly hot Asian wife. I think Io's birthday's coming up. If it hasn't already, but we already said it to Io. I gave Io a nice little present, and she went. And then Asuka, Asuka really knows what's coming for her, because nobody's ready for Asuka but set my dick. She wasn't ready for that dick that night. Oh, shit. No wonder she's turned into a scorpion beast. With the blue Kool-Aid. She tried to do that to me. I was like, bitch. You ain't doing that. I'm gonna give you some white mist. If you know what I mean. I'm gonna turn it into a geisha. Holy shit. Remember that whole thing with Cena and Kenzo Suzuki back on SmackDown during the fucking Ruthless Aggression era? When Kenzo Suzuki had that woman, I forgot her name, just hot too, the hot Japanese chick. And Cena's like, I'm gonna paint your face white, but it's not gonna be paint or some shit like that. And then everyone's like, whoa! Okay, John. Anyway, I saw a little promo from John Laurinaitis, People Power, baby. I'm back! Yeah, get out of here, Big Johnny. Go play with your skateboard, you old fuck. You fucking pervert. You prevert. Go hang out with Vince McMahon and do your bullshit. I'm sorry. I mean, that whole thing with Janelle Grant and everything, I hope and pray that one of them goes to jail. Well, actually, take that back. Vince should have been in jail. Freaking John Laurinaitis took a plea deal. What a wuss. He didn't want to go into jail and do the whole, I'm John Laurinaitis! You better respect me! I'm the CEO of Talent Relations! People Power, baby! And the next thing you know, like, Big Bubba is like, fuck you, Johnny! Psh! Pull on your pants! I'll show you a Big Johnny myself! Fuck. Anyway. Moving on! Alright, so the Don Callis family has some upcoming matches. Don Callis accuses Kyle O'Reilly naming himself after Kyle Fletcher. Talk to Kyle O'Reilly's parents there, Don. Moron. Anyway, they're ready to beat everyone they're facing. And congrats to Takeshita, Kensuke Takeshita, at King of Pro Wrestling over the week, last week basically. He is the new IWGP Heavyweight Champion of the World. He cashed in his G1, and he beat Mr. Zack Sabre Jr. to become the new IWGP Heavyweight Champion of the World. So now the Don Callis family have more gold. Why not? They got the IWGP title. They got the Unified title, which is basically 3 belts. We count that as 4 now. And they got the TNT title. So we got 5 belts in a stable that's bigger than not as big as the NWO, but still. Right? Getting everybody. They got Andrade, and then Andrade's like, oh no. Where is Andrade? He's supposed to do a show. He's supposed to be at a show he didn't do the show. He's got a show this Saturday in Puerto Rico, going for the Universal title at a WWC show with Savant El Campeón. I don't know if he's going to be there. I hope so for a certain Puerto Rican princess's thing, but we'll see what happens with that. If he doesn't show, I don't know what's going on. Then they're like, oh, now where's Andrade going to be going now? Is he going back to WWE? Why? Is he going to CMLL? Triple A? Where's he going? It's like, where in the world is Andrade? San Diego. Yeah, where is the fucker? I don't know. We move on with that. Alright. That's that. Alright, I gave that segment 2.5 to 5 stars. We move on to a tag team match, player. The return of Jurassic Express, Jungle Jack Perry. I'm surprised he's still using Jungle Jack, but it's not Jungle Boy Jack Perry. Because he's older. So we'll call him Jungle Jack Perry and Luchasaurus. They take on the team of Orion and Biff. Biff Tannen, otherwise known as Kevin Matthews, our good buddy. This didn't last long. Almost under 3 minutes. Did I say under 3 minutes? And, kind of a weird match. The Young Bucks are in the crowd talking to some random kids, which I thought was hilarious. Oh, look at that guy. That's a body slam. The kid's like, can we get your autograph and shut up? Anyway. Alright, a beach ball is thrown in. Where did that come from? And then thrown back out. Anyway. And then they hit the extinction finisher, whatever that is, on Orion. Orion! Well, I guess you could say Orion from Metallica purposes. The longest, one of the longest instrumentals in Metallica history. Just saying. And that was that. Basically a squash match, blah, 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 blah. I gave it 2.25 out of 5 stars. Then after the match, the Bucks come out, and they beat the living crap out of Jurassic Express. They do the little Tony Khan thing they did a couple years ago. They say, this is what's called a callback. And they kind of did what they did to Tony Khan. And then Matt Jackson challenges them to a tag team match at Wrestle Dream. And then they lay out Jack Perry with the TK driver. And that's it. So, Jurassic Express kind of runs it back from a couple years ago with the Bucks. Now, a couple years ago, there was that big-time ladder match, which the Bucks won. We'll see what happens with that. I think Jurassic Express will beat the Bucks, because the Bucks are just going on a miserable losing streak. They got a couple of wins in there when they won the $500,000, and then, bye. That went downhill. They still have the messed up Tron and the names on the nameplate and everything. Just, ugh. At least PTE is back on a semi-weekly basis. That's the only good thing I like. And Brandon Cutler, that idiot, still, doing the camera shit. But I want it, like, weekly like it used to be. And, more viewers. I'm not getting that many viewers that they used to get way back in the day. It is what it is. That's that. Alright. After that, we go to the Death Riders. I think they were outside of Daly's place. They're now with Pac as an official member. They promise to take out Orange Cassidy later on. Whether they do that or not, we'll see. Alright, after that, we go to the TNT title. Kyle O'Reilly Auto Parts taking on Kyle Fletcher. Lance Archer out at ringside. And Don Callis on commentary. With Kyle O'Reilly. Kyle Fletcher. It was a pretty good match for 13 minutes. Back and forth they went. But we're going to get near the end. They go at it on the apron until Kyle O'Reilly hits a big running flippy-dibbity-doo off the apron. To get back in, Kyle Fletcher tries with a bleed buster. but can't lawn-dart him into the turnbuckle. And then they slug it out. Kyle O'Reilly wins that, grabs a reverse Fisherman's Buster for a near fall. Then he pays homage to Mr. Adam Cole, baby, with the boom! Gives him another near fall. And goes back for the ankle lock. And Kyle Fletcher broke that up. Hits a brain buster. Then another brain buster for the win. 1, 2, 3 to retain the TNT title in a little over 13 minutes. Yeah, pretty good match. I gave 3.25 out of 5 stars. And then after the match, you knew there was going to be some chicanery. Lance Archer goes after Kyle O'Reilly, but then the conglomeration comes in for the save, minus hologram, by the way. And then the other members of the Don Callis family come in, and then Mark Briscoe comes in and stares at Kyle Fletcher, because they are about to start a feud for the TNT title again. So we got that. Alright, we go to break, we come back. Fletcher cuts a promo, is not pleased with Mark coming out there for the big title match. And to make it worse, we find out that he has to defend against Mark Briscoe at Wrestle Dream. So, we'll see if Mark can pull off the big one and win another major title. He won the Ring of Honor World title, we all remember that. I think it was Trios Champs at one point. I could be wrong on that. But in any case, I'd like to see him win the TNT title, but we'll see. I don't think he will, but that's that. Alright, after that, we go to the TBS title open challenge for 10 belts Monet, or Ultimo Monet, he's now known as. So she's in the ring, parades the CEO, chicken noodle soup, you know. She comes in and faces Lacey Lane, otherwise known as Kaden Carter from WWE. She had a match with Mina Shirakawa on Ring of Honor, I believe, a week ago. Who's actually, as advertised, from Florida. So it was a meh match, a little under 9.5 minutes, back and forth they went. Mercedes picks up Lacey and hits the Eddie Guerrero, Three Amigos ese. You like that, Eddie? Oh, I can't get enough when Mercedes Monet does my move, but I do it better. I know, because you're the greatest. I know. Your son is great, too. Oh, my son, yeah. I did a video, you saw that? Oh, yeah, I did see that, Eddie. It was very good. Very good. Lots of likes. People love you. Why wouldn't they love me? I'm Eddie Guerrero, ese, pero. Well, sure. Eddie Guerrero. How old are you now? What? 58, 59? I can't remember my age, ese, pero. But happy birthday. Well, I already said it before, but I'll say it again. Happy birthday to one of the greatest luchadors in wrestling history, next to Dominic Guerrero, too. Thank you, ese, pero. Thank you. Okay. You go have a nice dinner with Joni. Okay? It's on me this time. Oh, thank you so much. I can't pay anymore. Joni gets that big steak every time. And the sangria, we drink so much sangria. Well, never, I don't want to know. That sangria will really fuck you up. Anyway. Blah, 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 blah. Alright, so she hits the Eddie Guerrero, Three Amigos, then more Eddie. Goes for that frog splash, but Lacey Lane got her knees up. Then they trade some strikes to face, and a code breaker sends Lacey Lane into the corner, where she hits the running knees in the corner. Oh, actually, she missed it. Lacey Lane is back with a springboard spinning leg drop for a near fall. Then they trade fruit roll-ups for near falls each, and then Mercedes makes a quick Monet maker. 1, 2, 3. She gets the win to retain, once again, the TBS title. She's about to break Jade Cargill's record, if she hasn't already, for longest title reign in AEW history. I don't know who beats her at this point. It's kind of like her and Athena. Who beats them? Because Athena's getting, on that road to 1,100 days as champ. We're not even at a final battle yet. We got a little over about 6-7 weeks to go till we hit December. Holy shit, that's fast, right? It's gonna be December before you know it. It's gonna be the greatest month in the world with the greatest people in the world that celebrate birthdays. And then you know what day comes. The day is coming. Level 49, my friends. Can't wait for that. It's gonna be epic. And I know you people are gonna think of me. I know. Because you got nothing else to do on Christmas Eve. Should be with your family, but you're worried about me and doing bullshit on freaking Christmas Eve. Trying to ruin my birthday and trying to, this and that. Get a life. Worry about me after the new year. Then you can do your stupid bullshit. Not now, because nobody cares now. You failed already. You want to fail even more for the rest of the year? Go ahead. Into 2026, 27, 28, 30. Go ahead. Your funeral, not mine. Moving on. Alright, so Mercedes retains over Caden Carter. Pretty decent match. And that's that. Alright, then we get a promo from the Spanish God, Sammy Guevara. Promises that the Beast, Mortas, who is in LFI with Bruce Angelistico, he will destroy Eddie Kingston on Collision. Well, we'll see what happens with that. And then we hear from Eddie Kingston. He's with Send for the Man. You, get in here with your Doritos. They're very tasty. Give some to Mick on the way over there. Mick, you got them? Well, they're very tasty. Thank you, Hook. Okay, get out of here. Anyway, Hook, get in here. Anyway, so Eddie Kingston and the man Hook basically say, we'll see you on Collision. And that's it. Moving on. Alright, then we get to Hikesuro. No, not actually, sorry. We get to Kazuchika Okada and the new IWGP Heavyweight Champion Kosuke Takeshita. They take on Brodito of the Ring of Honor Champion Bandito Esse, who had a hellacious match with Hikesuro. Oy, oy, oy. Where Hikesuro almost basically ripped his shoulder out of socket. That's why Bandito came into his match with a sling on his shoulder. Anyway, if Bandito or Brody get the win, they get a unified title shot against Okada. But if Okada and Takeshita get the win, they get a tag team title shot at Wrestle Dream. Alright, so more can they coexist problems with Takeshita and Okada. Okada cut off Takeshita's entrance, which pissed him off. And that's that. Alright, pretty back and forth match. Went really long, like 12 minutes. We're getting to the end. Takeshita gets in a rather most impressive Skywalker wheelbarrow suplex to Brody King. He goes after the bad arm to drop Bandito again. Takeshita's running knee hits Okada. Oops! And the X knee connects with Bandito, but the arm gives out on the 21 plex attempt. And then Takeshita hits a poison Rana. And then Takeshita loads up the running knee, but Okada blind tags himself in, hits the Rainmaker, and gets the pin on Bandito 1, 2, 3 in just about 12 minutes. So Okada and Takeshita will face Brody King and Bandito this Saturday night for those AEW tag team titles. And I think we're going to get a title change, and we're going to have 7 belts in one faction. That is crazy. And if you think about it, Okada will have 4 belts. If you want to count the unified belt as 3 belts, because it's the international title, the actual unified title, and the continental title, which is supposedly going to be on the line coming up by the time we hit December. Why? Get rid of the belt! Get rid of both belts, just have that unified title. It looks like shit. Come on, Tony Khan, wake up! Stop snorting your cocaine. Fucking idiot. Alright, move on. Alright, then we have Jet Speed and Widow Nightingale, the Western Fun Girl. Boom, bam! Alright, they're not worried about FTR and Penelope Ford and the Mega Sis, Megan Bayne. That's gonna be a collision. Then we hear from Stokely Hathaway, the guy that gets no hose. And FTR, Daxley Axe Hardwood, and Cash Brock Wheeler. They can respect Jet Speed a little bit, but I don't think much of Widow Nightingale, because she basically buried him the last week or two. And Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford, don't really care about her either. Sucks. Alright, we go to the back where Brodito are ready to defend the tag team titles against the Don Callis family. You know, Bandito's like, I'm sorry, SA, I'm sorry, my shoulder's all fucked up, I don't know what we can do. And then Brody King's like, you're a warrior, come on, stop fucking around. So we'll see what happens on Saturday between them, and that's that. Alright, then we go to the main event of Title Tuesday. Orange Cassidy takes on the bastard Pac. This is pretty good. A little over 15 and a half minutes. Back and forth match they went. At one point, Pac was handcuffed, I believe, to a guardrail. I don't know how he got into the ring. It was just weird. But anyway, Pac tombstones Orange Cassidy onto a platform, and Orange Cassidy rolls down the steps, really slow. And then we see, hi guys, it's me, Darby. I popped up in the crowd, anybody see me? I come from Seattle. Pops up to tape Cassidy's, he taped it. I thought he, what you call it? Handcuffed his ankle to the freaking railing. But he taped, Pac's foot to the railing, and somehow he got in at 10, I believe. And then Orange Cassidy, it was Orange Cassidy, I was right, the first time. OC manages to get back in, and then Pac dives over the top as well, only for Cassidy to roll him up. 1, 2, 3, Orange Cassidy gets the win over the bastard Pac in a little over 15 and a half minutes. Match was alright, 3 out of 5 stars. Then the ending, ladies and gentlemen. Darby Allin's like on the stage near the commentary people, and then Pac goes to he's like staring at him, and Darby's like, "Come on, bitch!" And Pac's like, "All right," and then gives chase, but he gets cut up by a taser. Ow! I thought it was mace for a second, because they're like, when the Death Riders were coming around and then security were coming around, they were like, So I don't know if it could have been mace, but anyway. So the rest of the Death Riders chase Darby basically out of the arena, and then we see Darby have a big bottle of, I don't know what it's, champagne or something, and he's about to light it, like a Molotov cocktail, he's about to throw it at Mox and Company, but then this big security guy comes out and spears the living fuck out of Darby. I'm like, sign that guy up, Tony Khan. And then everybody's going on Darby and everything, and then basically ends the show. I was like, damn. Alright, so that ends Title Tuesday for Dynamite, which didn't do a great rating, 326,000 views. And, that's pretty much it for that. So, I gave Collision 7 out of 10 stars. And, that's pretty good. Pretty good, that's it. Alright, then we go to Collision, which got, 286,000 views from, up from last week, the prior week. That was the 4th. They got 226,000 views. I wonder why, because of college football, and baseball, the Yankees were on and shit. At the time, now the Yankees are playing golf in Cancun with the Mets and the Phillies. Ha! Coming up to the tee, number 99, Aaron Judge. Number 99, right field. For Texas, the Lakeside Bunker. I love that game. That game is funny as hell. Little golf game on the PC that I have. That one's fish food. Moving on. Alright, so we're going to Collision on Saturday night. Tony Baloney Schiavone and the great man from England, Nigel McGuinness, me love. Alright, once again, at Daly's place. Alright, we start off with a bunch of people coming in. We see the Triangle Madness, Holly, Cameron, Chris Cakelander, Timeless, Tony Storm, Brian Keith, the Bad Apple, Big Cass, Anthony Bowens, Max Caster, who's arguing with Bowens because the Acclaimed are kind of having a match, like they're getting back together match. And they're still arguing. FTR, Penelope Ford, Jet Speed, and Widow Nightingale all ready to fight. Alright, so we get the opening sequence. It's Saturday Night's Alright for Fighting. Elton John sings us in, and we're all ready to go. We start with our first match. Kota Ibushi takes on the Walking Weapon, Josh Alexander, with Don Callis at ringside at commentary. Now this was where Ibushi seriously got hurt. I'm going to get into the end. I'm going to read where he got hurt. Ibushi shrugs off a torture rack bomb, hits a running knee for a near fall. Josh Alexander comes right back with the world's strongest slam on the apron. Ow! Followed by a running forearm for another near fall. They go up top, crash to the floor, and Ibushi broke his leg. And it looked nasty. You thought Fred Warner breaking his ankle and, dislocating and breaking his ankle the way it looked. Look at Ibushi breaking his leg. Oh, he was screaming in pain. I felt bad for the guy, and Kenny comes out like, what happened to my boyfriend? So, yeah, Ibushi breaks his leg, and didn't know what to do, so the referee's like, 1, 2, 10. Josh Alexander wins by quick countout. So you just stop the match and Alexander wins by forfeit. Or no contest, whatever. So the match ends in exactly 14 minutes. It sucks for Ibushi. Wasn't really doing anything. He comes back here and there at all. I think he came back at All Out to help Kenny out and stuff like that with the Death Rider situation. And now he's back, he's pretty much either home in Japan or he's in a hospital bed somewhere. I assume he got surgery or whatever they did to his leg to get it back to, back to at least some type of, where he can actually do something. So we get that. So my thoughts and prayers go out to Mr. Ibushi, because I didn't meet him. He's a great guy. I hope he gets better in the next 6 to 10 months. So what happens with that? Alright, so get the match, 3 out of 5 stars. After the match, Don Callis grabs the mic, says, this is what happens when you mess with the Don Callis family. And then Mark Davis, who was in the family before he got hurt, I think it was his shoulder, he's back, goes after Ibushi, and tried to really put him away. But then Kenny, bang! Omega comes out for the save. And, yeah. Just a mess. It looked like a mess near the end. That whole aftermath, it was just a big mess. Shouldn't have done it, but it is what it is. We move on. Alright, then the funky chicken himself, Mark Briscoe, knows that Kyle Fletcher fears him, and it's time for him to finally win the TNT title. I don't know how many chances he's had, but this might be the one, it might not. I don't know. I don't think it will be, but we'll see what happens with that. Alright, then we get a video for Adam Page, the Hangman, doing some cowboy shit. Against Samoa Joe for the AEW World title. That's going to be held on Saturday night at Wrestle Dream from St. Louis, Missouri at the K-Fit Center, I believe. Alright, we got that. Alright, next match is a tag team match player. Brian Keith, the Bad Apple, and Big Cass. They take on the Acclaimed, or the kind of reformed Acclaimed. No, we're not going to scissor yet until they actually reform and be a tag team again. They're not a tag team. They're not kind of coexisting yet. But anyway, back and forth they went. We get into the end. And Max Caster gets double teamed as we go to break. Come right back. Brian Keith holds Anthony Bowens in a basic headlock, which is broken up. So Max Caster springboards in to start the big comeback for the Acclaim. A Death Valley Driver gets a near fall on Brian Keith, but Anthony Bowens breaks up a top rope Machumian elbow. Oh, yeah! Get it! Okay, Randy, thank you. You're welcome. Okay. That's enough for Bowens and Caster to start arguing again. And, but they're arguing, Bowens is like, oh, fuck you, Max. And then he mollywops Brian Keith, locked in for a whoop. Goes to the cover, 1, 2, 3, in under 10.5 minutes. The Acclaim get the win over Big Cass and Brian Keith. And that's pretty much it for that. And they start arguing after that. Move on. Then we get the Guns Up, Bang Bang Gang of Juice Robinson and Austin Gunn. Because we still haven't found Jay White and Colton Gunn. They're still hurt. They're in the back when Brian Keith and Big Cass come in and they start arguing with them. Why? You got nothing else to do? Well, let's yell at these guys. We lost. Let's yell at these guys. Why not? Next week we got a tag team match. Whatever works, I guess. Moving on. Speaking of tag teams, let's go to the ladies. And some hot ladies coming out right now. And that's Anna Jay, a woman with a fat ass. She got a fat ass and a mean attitude. And she's single, by the way. Damn, call me. And she teams up with Ty Conti, or Ty Guevara, Ty Mello. We all know that's Sammy Guevara's hot wife. And they have a beautiful baby girl named Luna. I think she's 2 years old. Beautiful baby. Cutie patootie. Anyway, TJ, they take on Cream Girl Ellie and Carolina Cruz. I know her. This was basically a 2-minute squash just to put the ladies on the show. Anna Jay and TJ win with a gory bomb into basically the go to hell from Ty Mello. And that's that. So TJ get the win in 2 minutes, and I was like, who gives a fuck? Filler match. And we move on with that. Alright, then the conglomeration comes back. It was okay while Mark Briscoe is, doing his stuff. They don't like that other Kyle Fletcher. And Willow Nightingale, damn, did you see where she was wearing? Her boobies were just about to pop out. Nothing wrong with that. Big girls are fun. Anyway, and Willow Nightingale does Briscoe's send-off, or whatever he does, and, pretty much better than he did. Okay. Moving on. Alright, then we get a video for the Demand, that's Ricochet's group with the Gates of Agony and the Hurt Syndicate. We hurt people. We hurt people. They're gonna fight again. I don't know if it's another 6-man tag, but it's gonna happen at WrestleGream. Can we just end this feud already? I hope it ends on Saturday. Because I can't stand this garbage feud with the Hurt Syndicate and a group called the Demand. Should be called a Supply. Huh. Not Air Supply. Great band, by the way. Air Supply, back 1984, 85. I'm all out of love. I'm so lost without you. And who knew they were gay? I didn't know that. I didn't know that until years later they were gay. I'm like, wait a minute, what? Remember when Rob Halford came out as gay? Everyone was like, what? The metal god is gay? And everyone's like, oh, fuck Judas Priest! They're about to, roll over all their, break all their freaking Judas Priest CDs and shit. And I'm like, well... Not that there were probably gay people and, not the first gay person in metal. I don't think he was, but... It was just shocking that the metal god and all the women just wanted to fuck this guy. He just comes out and says, no, I'm a happily gay man. Now I left Judas Priest. I'm gonna form this band called 2, which was an obscure, weary band. And then he came back to the metal realm with his solo band Halford, put out great albums. And then next thing you know, Judas Priest, who had Tim Ripper Owens in for Jugulator and Demonizer, I think it was called. This is the one after Jugulator. You know? He comes in, and that's where the movie Rockstar came from. After the second album, bye, we don't need you anymore. We're going to bring back Rob for more epicness, and then, you know, they're kicking ass. They're kicking ass. If you haven't seen them yet, please do. Because maybe you hear him saying, "Pain Killer!" I hope I blew your eardrums out. I hope I did. Wilson doesn't like when I do that, but... Western Dan a bullet! Tear by your sleeve! Shut up! Okay. I will shut up now. He's a man and hat machine! Like a metal monster! Okay. I'm not gonna sing the entire song, but... my voice might go after that, so... I'm waiting to do some karaoke to that song. I'm gonna scare people at the karaoke club. I will scare them to death. Then maybe afterwards, like, oh my god, that was great! You want to join my band? What band? A Judas Priest tribute band! What am I, Tim Ripper Owens now? Come on. Got the money, I'll do it, you know. I got nothing else to do. Just tell me when our first gig is, or do some, you know, or try to get to rehearsal. Wherever your rehearsal place is. If it's near me, I mean... it's okay. I mean, there is a rehearsal place right on the corner from me, actually, so I can just go there and rehearse. Rehearse and jam. Which I do on occasion. I don't do it much anymore, but... I do some here, I do some in the city. I have been to Electric Lady Studios, and I jam there. It is amazing. That building is huge. I mean, it is, like, huge. You go into the studio, and it's like 15, like, one here, like, big! Freaking run into boards, the boards are, like, gigantic. It's insane! And there are, like, 4 people at the freaking things, and one of them is me. Or if I'm like, oh, you wanna, you know, Pete, go play with the guitars, I'm like, okay. Play with the guitar, dee play my electric twanger, you know, pulling up some, like, Dimebag Darrell shit. Get your pull. I'm not spinny pull. Well, that's Dimebag too, so. Playing some squeals and stuff like that. Gotta miss Dimebag and Vinnie Paul. Get your pull. You don't know what get your pull means. Look it up, fuckers. That's real metal, by the way. Not that mumble rap shit from the UK. Ugh. Put that guy in a fucking box. Fuck him. Moving on. Where was I? Alright, so the Hurt Syndicate and the Man will fight at Wrestle Dream. Again. Alright, after that, we're gonna look back at... Hi guys, it's me again, Darby! Ha! And Darby almost lighting a Molotov cocktail on Dynamite. We get that. We hear... Nigel says they have lost the plot. They lost their minds. And then, we see the fight that they got in at Comic-Con. I think Darby came in. I thought he had, like, I don't know if it was a bottle of water or something. And then he went like, and he bashed, like, Moxley's head and, like, exploded or something like that. Not explode, like, firework explosion, but it just, like, exploded. Like, all the plastic or glass went all over the place. And Moxley got fucked up. I just see Orange Cassidy there, and I think somebody else is on the stage. They're like, oh, shit. I think Willow was there, like, she's like this, ah. And the fans are like, yeah, this is great violence! I wish I was there for that. I didn't go to Comic-Con this year. I went last year, but there's nothing really good, except for the Walking Dead panels and the AEW panel and, video game panels here and there. That's all I go for, I don't go to, like, buy shit. I just, besides food, but I just go there to have a little fun, spend a little time, just walking around and stuff. The missus is there. We're walking around for like 3-4 hours, and I'm like, I'm tired. Let's just go to the Skyline restaurant, like 2 blocks away. Grab yourself a nice meal, and then get out of here. Let's go grab some food, spend about $50-$60, and then we're home. It is what it is. I'm telling you, that diner is pretty damn good. Good food. Not great food, but good. Good. It's good food. Yeah. Alright, so we see that. So, who knows what's going to happen tonight on Dynamite. Then after that, the Death Riders don't think much of Darby. Pac accuses Darby of using too many weapons and props. You think? And we got that. It's just about dark here. It's 6:35 at night. Sun has gone down. Not dark yet. Probably be dark in the next 5-10 minutes. So about 6:45 is actually dark. Right before 7, it's dark. And about 2 more weeks, it will be dark. By the time by this time right now. By this time in 2 weeks. 2 weeks, November the 2nd, we fall back an hour, so we will be, the sunset would be right before 5, so about 5:10, we're about 5:15-ish, it'll be dark. So, and then, that means by the time we hit November, we're counting down to the holiday season. Thanksgiving is coming up, and then, we all know, the greatest month in the world is coming up with Christmas, Ozzy's birthday, my birthday, Chris Howarth and the beautiful Maria Brink's birthday. Let me cue myself from Motorhead. We play rock and roll. Rock out with your cock out. Alright. Mary's birthday's on the same day as me and the Lord Jesus Christ the Lord. That's a great day, my friends. I told you I am the adopted Osborne because, got birthdays in October, or coincide with the Osbournes. I have the same birth month as Ozzy. It's just, I'm gifted. Get that. Alright, I think this was the main event, I don't know, but anyway, we get to a 6-woman tag team match player. We have Toni Storm, Chris Cakelander, and another piece of cake, that's Holly Cameron. They take on Julia Hart, Sky Blue, and the Spider Lady, Thekla. Pretty decent match for just under 11.5 minutes. We're getting to the end of the match. Julia Hart comes in, takes down Holly with a DDT. We're going to break, come back. Holly fights out of trouble, but Sky Blue knocks Toni Storm off the apron to stop the tag. That doesn't last long as Toni gets right back up, gets the hot tag, cleans house, goes to a quick Storm Zero, gets broken up, and then Sky Blue tries a super kick. She hits the super kick on Toni, gets the hot tag to Julia Hart. A double suplex gets broken up, and Toni Storm hands it to Chris Cakelander, who drops Sky Blue onto Julia Hart. Ow! For a near fall. And then all 6 women are in the ring. Chris Cakelander almost super kicks Toni Storm. They're like, I'm sorry, I'm not in pros, I'm sorry. Then the villains throw them into each other, and then Thekla does her spider little thing, and then twists right around in the same motion, and hits a mighty big spear on Holly Cameron to get the win for the Triangle of Madness. And that's pretty much it. And Toni Storm after the match was pissed. And we'll get that, and we move on. Alright, before we get to, both of them getting pissed at each other, we got Kenny Pac got Omega. He's sick of Don Callis. I think we all are. He's ready to deal with him. And then Jungle Jack Perry comes in, and Kenny is pissed at him. He's like, "What are you doing here?" But Jack Perry actually apologizes and is sorry for what happened to Kenny's boyfriend, Kota Ibushi. And Jack Perry's like, "Hey, Kenny, I got your back." I'm like, "Wait a minute, we going back to the Elite? Too sweet, me. Love of God." Alright. So Jack Perry says, "I got your back." Goes to leave, but Kenny's like, "Hey, what the hell is going on here?" Jack Perry says, "Well, we have the same enemies. You know, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So I'm your friend. So the friend of my friend, has enemies of my enemy, we're gonna be friends." You follow? Anyway, Kenny's not quite convinced. And he's like, "I don't have your back, but if you want to prove something, we can do this match on Dynamite." So we get that match tonight. 6-man tag team match with Chasero, and the other two, I think it's Chasero, Lance Archer, and Rocky Romero essay, but we'll see what happens with that. So we'll see if Jurassic Express and Kenny can somehow coexist. And that's that. We move on. Alright, let me see how much power I got. Okay, we're good. Alright, after that, we go to the back. Chris Cakelander and Holly Cameron say things are not getting tense between Chris Cakelander and Tony Storm. Holly says, "I can't team with you to win the women's tag team titles." And Chris Cakelander's like, "Yeah, I get it. I have to defend the women's title, so we can't go for the women's titles right now." So, see what happens with that. Harley thinks that means she's a tag team orphan. It sounds like, really like, "I'm an orphan, oh my god! Nobody will team with me!" I'll team with you, Harley. Anyway, and then, oh jeez, William fucking Yuta comes in, and he just stands there as Tony Storm comes in, and her and Cakelander start arguing, and then freaking William Yuta he leaves and he's like looking at the camera. What was the point of you being there, you fucking weirdo? William Yuta's the type of guy that should just not be in fucking promos. His promos suck. He just stands there like a fucking idiot. Ugh. Alright, we move on. Alright, then we get MXM TV. We got Johnny TV, Johnny Nitro, Johnny AEW, whatever you want to call him. And his hot wife, Taya Valkyrie. They're there with Monsieur and Dion Mace Madden. They do the post. They're there for their casting call. They're ready to fight. As last week, the Don Callis family failed to defeat them. Just like the people, watching at home. Anyway. So, Arcady Aura, does this thing, she has an envelope with, the freaking Academy Awards, and she pulls out the envelope, and the winner is the Foxone de Ignobles. I'm like, oh shit, MXM's about to die. So we got Jalisco, Roosh, and Spanish God, Sammy Guevara. They all come out and basically beat the crap out of them. Taya Valkyrie did get involved, hit a Hurricane on Jalisco, and then all 6 people are in the ring. Jalisco hits a top rope code breaker, on Monsieur, and then Bruce hits the bull's horns. "You mess with the bull, Nessie, you'll get the horns." And a really looking swanton bomb on Monsieur. 1, 2, 3. And a little over 11, under, I was going to say over 3 minutes, but it's under 4 minutes in a filler match that I didn't give 2 fucks about. And we move on. Alright, after that, we go to a little bit better match. Eddie Kingston comes out with the man, Hook, takes on the Beast, Mortos. Pretty good match. Eddie grabbed a, basic headlock back inside the ring, so on the outside of the ring. Mortis knocks him down. We go to break, we come right back, and Mortis is still in control, getting a near fall off a running clothesline, misses a running knee in the corner, and then a Hangman's neck breaker gives Eddie a near fall. Then they take turns biting each other's hands. We got a biter! Ah! That was a weird sound, but okay. Anyway, they bite each other's hands, and Beast Mortis gets a near fall off a spear, goes for the corkscrew moonsault and miss. No water in the pool for you, sir. And then Eddie hits that BAM! Spinning back fist of his. Wicked. Not as wicked as Lola Vice's spinning back fist. Woo! Or even Mina's. Holy shit. But Eddie gets the win in exactly 8 minutes. Right, Eddie's picking up some big wins. He beat Big Cass at the last pay-per-view. And we'll see what happens with that. Alright, moving on. Alright, then the Triangle of Madness gets jumped by Jamie Hayter and Queen Aminata, the one and only. But I did read on Ringside News that Queen Aminata got injured with her knee. I think she's going for knee surgery. Uh-oh. So she's pretty much going to be out, I would say, for the rest of the year. Sucks for her. I think, isn't she in the tournament, the Ring of Honor Pure Women's Title Tournament? If she is, well, she's out now. Alright, we get that. Alright, there we get Katsuyori Shibata! He's back from Japan. He issues a challenge to LFI for the Trios titles. Well, I don't know which one, because, no, I'm talking, oh, yeah, it is LFI, okay. So they challenge LFI for the AEW Trios titles. I was thinking that LFI had the Ring of Honor 6-man championship, which they probably will be getting soon. Because STP, Shane Taylor Promotions, has those belts. When they're ever going to defend them, I want to know. Alright, so tonight, we got Shibata, Joe, and Powerhouse Will Hobbs taking on, I assume, Sammy Guevara, Roosh, and Dralistico. It could be Beast Mortis, too. We'll see. In a Trios title match. I think we might see new champs, because Joe is going after Hangman for the world title, and Rui Shibata and Will Hobbs probably go nowhere. Probably still be in the mid-card. And if LFI win, not only does Sammy get 2 belts, Roosh gets 2 belts, and whoever's the third guy gets just 1 belt. So it'll be Dralistico or Mortos. So we'll see what happens with them tonight on the program. Let me move on. Alright, then we get to 6-person intergender match. We have FTR with the Megasis, Megan Bayne, with Stokely Hathaway and Penelope Ford at ringside. They take on Jet Speed, Speedball, Mike Bailey, and Kevin Knight. They team up with the Western Fun Girl, Willow Nightingale. And it was a pretty decent match. Nothing great, but we're getting around near the end of the match. A Tornado DDT, as William Yuta came out. Now, I don't know where William Yuta came from, but... Oh, Cash Wheeler, I'm sorry. I'm thinking about Will Yuta. Oh boy. Woohoo! I need to cleanse my head after that one. Tornado DDT drops Cash Wheeler, because he's got a clock, but Megan Bayne comes in to form Speedball Mike Bailey. He takes her down for a change, because I guess we can go beat up women in AEW. Anyway. So he takes her down, hands it off to Willow Nightingale, who beats up FTR, and everybody, the fans are like, yay! Beat them up! Those fuckers. I mean, she was laying in some bombs on those guys. Holy shit. Kevin Knight dies on the Cash Wheeler as Willow Nightingale hits a spine buster on Dax Harder for a near fall. And then Penelope Ford offers a distraction, breaking up the Babe with a powerbomb attempt. But the villains get caught in stereo half crabs, which are broken up. Jet Speed then dives onto FTR on the floor, which leads Megan Bayne to hit a wicked running power bomb on Willow Nightingale out the corner. She goes for the cover. 1, 2, 3. In under 15 minutes, the heels get the win. What are you going to do? Match was alright. And that's that. After the match, Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford go right after Willow Nightingale again. But then, honey! Cameron makes the save with a guitar handle. A little freaking piece of the guitar. Bah! What's that gonna do? Alright, we'll see what happens with that. Alright, so it was a pretty, good Dynamite. Dynamite I gave 6.5 out of 10 stars. Collision, I gave 6.25 out of 10 stars. But let me know what you great people thought of the show in a comment or a video, or you can do your own video if you want, and that's that. But if you want to leave the comment on the topic at hand. Don't leave any other stupid thing. You can talk about wrestling, music, whatever, but don't leave stupid comments. I will not read it. I will delete it, and probably delete you. And that's all I gotta say about that. Alright guys, once again, 6.5 out of 10 stars for Dynamite last week. 6.25 out of 10 stars for Collision last Saturday. So, we'll see what happens tonight on a 3-hour show of Dynamite, followed by Collision. And then, at 11 o'clock, yeah, we got an extra half hour of the Wrestle Dream countdown show that nobody watches. So we got that. Alright, so enjoy 3 hours of wrestling tonight with AEW Dynamite and Collision. Should be a pretty decent show. I think it's from Kansas City tonight, because I know they're going to be around that Missouri area. I could be wrong, but we'll see what happens with that. Alright guys, I am out of here. Thanks for watching, and until next time. If you're not down with all that, well, I got 3 words for you. Fuck you, man. And that's it. Until next time, motherfuckers. Peace.